Hello, I'm Michael from Beer on the Keyboard, and this is another Nude Review where I review them so that you don't have to, and then down them with beer. But that's just a theory, the noodle theory, and let's talk about that. Yeah, I'm going to go with that take where I just said every YouTube intro that I could think of. That works. Perfect. Okay, here we have what we're reviewing today. Lucky Me brand Pancit Canton chow mein noodles. I'm not 100% clear on the spelling on that bad boy, but yeah, it definitely looks interesting. Chili and Philippine lemon flavor. This is a drained noodle. It is a dry one, not a soupy one. I'm curious to see how this tastes. We're going to give it a try, but where did I leave my beer? Oh, there it is.
Today we have the Lucky Me brand Pancit Canton chow mein noodles made by the Monde Nissin Corporation based out of Santa Rosa, Laguna, Philippines. I found it for a variety of different prices. The cheapest around 70 or 80 cents a bag, and the most expensive a 5-pack for over $12.50, equaling over $2.50 per bag, which is absolutely ridiculous. This is their flagship brand and one of their most popular flavors. The Lucky Me brand has been around since 1989. Now this is a drained noodle, stir-fry style noodle as opposed to a soup kind, and there's a lot of different things involved in this. There you see the 3 different seasoning packets. One is actually 2 packets separated in the middle, but attached together, and that has the soy sauce and like a garlic paste in oil. And then there is a dry seasoning powder that has plenty of chili flakes in it. Now, the preparation instructions said that before you add the noodles, you're supposed to mix all of the packets together in order to create a paste. And as hard as I tried, I was unable to get them to form a cohesive paste together. Noodles look very nice, good texture. After draining the noodles, I add them into the bowl with the seasonings, and then I mixed everything to incorporate together as best as I could. Here's another fast forward for you.
All right, so here we have the Pancit Canton chow mein noodles. Again, excuse me, my pronunciation is always going to be terrible because I am a white guy who only speaks English. But this is the Lucky Me brand. I mean, let me know in the fucking comments if that's the correct way of pronouncing that or not. I have to say, not much to look at here. This is not a very visually appealing ramen. It smells nice. There's like a nice citrus. There's a nice citrus aroma to this, but the noodles themselves kind of look like your very typical curly brick of noodles. Look at how curly that noodle is. I haven't tasted them yet, so I don't know what they're like there, but they don't seem like they're going to be all that special as far as the noodle is concerned. So it's really about those spices. And there's some chili flakes in there I can see stuck to the edge of my bowl. Like there's something going on there, man. There's the 3 different seasoning packets they had. I don't know if this method. I mean, I make it by the instructions. The instructions said drain the noodles after you boil them, mix all the stuff up into like a paste, it was really hard to get it into a paste, and then mix the noodles into that after you drain them. I really don't have high hopes for this, but also I've had pretty low opinions of things based off of the cover, and then I was pleasantly surprised before. So let's get into it. Okay, here's a shocker. That's a better noodle than I thought it was going to be. That has a great chew to it, a nice gluteny, sticky texture on the outside. That's actually not a bad noodle at all. But flavor-wise, it's kind of bland. Like, that's super disappointing, actually, because there's like 3 different seasoning packets, and you have to mix them all together into a paste and then toss everything together. You're expecting some big flavors out of that. There isn't much going on here. I taste a little bit of citrus, a little bit of salt. MSG is present, I'm certain of that. There's some chili flakes in there. Maybe like a chicken flavoring? Like a chicken bouillon kind of flavor? Yeah, maybe. I'm not certain exactly what the umami flavor I'm tasting is exactly. It doesn't have a seafood note. It's some sort of meat flavor. And then there's a little bit of like a limey, citrusy kind of flavor, and then a little bit of the chili flakes. And it's really not spicy at all. And also, just look at that portion. Like, this is a pretty good sized bowl. I have a big ramen bowl that I use for this, but that portion's nothing, man. I'm gonna blast through this. 2 more bites and it's gone. I've only had 3 or 4. All right, let's look at the nutrition facts on this bad boy. Well, I let that linger. Maybe I'll be more satisfied with that on the next bite. Let's find out. I'm so upset I need another beer. Okay, nutrition facts. 280 calories per serving. 13 grams of fat. That might be the highest I've had on the show so far. For just a noodle, 13 grams of fat is quite a bit, and that's good for your brain. Don't forget that. A lot of that saturated fat, 0 cholesterol. Some of the lowest sodium, though. Only 840 milligrams of sodium. Some of the noodles I've had on here, most of the noodles I've had on here are double that. 840 milligrams of sodium, 34 grams of carbohydrates. 2 grams of that is dietary fibers, 3 grams of sugars. All of that is added sugar. 7 grams of protein. That's not terrible, actually. A little bit of iron in there. A little bit of potassium in there. What are the ingredient lists on this? Oh, there's a lot. So there's basically a soy sauce, and there's an ingredient list for the soy sauce. So it's not just like fermented soybeans. There's like a bunch of stuff that went in there. I mean, I guess soy sauce is more than that anyway. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They have a separate ingredient list for everything. There's one for the noodles, one for the seasoning, one for the soy sauce. Wait, they're missing one. What is the paste thing? Yeah, because there's like a chunky paste thing. What was that? Soy sauce ingredients, seasoning ingredients, chow mein noodles ingredients. I feel like they're missing something. There was 3 things I put into the bowl, then the noodles, so there should be 4 ingredients lists. Huh, weird. Anyway, let's go in for one more bite, and then I'll decide what you can even do with this. It's almost gone. That's so disappointing. The noodles have a good texture. They have a great texture. Nice chew to them. Like I said, nice kind of sticky texture on the outside of them. That's pleasant. But despite all the different seasonings I went into this, there's not a lot going on. I get a little chili, a little lime, a little salt. So I guess that means it's kind of a blank slate. You're a college kid, you mix a plate of this up, put whatever in this. What do you got kicking around? Bag of frozen veggies? Saute those up, throw it in there. Some, I don't know, cheap protein. I don't know, like a tofu, I guess, or whatever. I don't know, throw that in there. It truly doesn't matter. I'm having trouble coming up with ways to like improve upon this, because this is such like a nothing kind of thing. This is like better suited for a side dish, because it's not. I've had blank slate ramens before, where they are just a nice ramen soup that is a nice neutral flavor that you can put pretty much anything in. This isn't like that, but also there's not a lot of flavor on its own either. So kind of do whatever to this and it would be okay. I'm not a big fan of this. I'm kind of whatever about this. Like I said, the noodles have a great texture. I just wish there was a good flavor to back that up. Like the the lime notes in here. What there's a particular kind of lime. What does it say? Oh, Philippine lemon. So it's a Filipino lemon, which I guess tastes like limes. Yeah, it's a nice citrus note. There really isn't much going on besides that. And even with all of the visible chili flakes in the bowl, there's like zero spice. I don't know. I'm still whatever about this one. This might be my lowest one yet. That's a D. I'm going to give that a D. Did I say give that the D? What's wrong with me? I'm not going to give it the D, but I am going to give it a D because that's where it belongs on my tier list because I'm not a big fan of this one. I would never seek this out or recommend it to other people. It doesn't taste bad. It's not a fail. I'll make a separate category if there's one where I can't finish because this is fine. But it's not, I don't know, it has a complicated method of preparation, which I'm already not a big fan of. I like it when you can just put stuff together and call it a day, not have to put things separately and mix it up and then drain the noodles and then put the noodles on the stuff that you mixed up and then mix all that up. Like, come on. like be real with me. Like, don't make this that complicated. And then if there's no payoff from that, if there's no huge flavor bomb because of all that effort that you put in, opening up 3 different packets, mixing them all together, then what's the point? Yeah, that's a D. That's my first D. Don't take that out of context. Anyway, thank you for joining me on another episode of Nood Reviews. Until next time, stay salty, my friends. What a bullshit noodle.